everyone, and welcome back. I just recently came across a website which I have to say really stands out. This called Emerald Meadows Dog Training, and it's so very rare that I ever come across people who actually know what they are talking about. Actually, I am going to read, if that's okay with you, what they say about being a pack leader, and I am in complete agreement with this. So very often people have zero idea what it means to be a pack leader, and as all of you already know, if you watch any of my videos whatsoever, you know that I have 8 dogs in my pack, and I've often talked a lot about being a good pack leader. So what exactly does this mean? Well, this is an excellent description of what a good pack leader is. So let me begin here. This is what this article says. Why the pack leader? Earn your dog's respect. The quote-unquote pack leader is always calm and assertive, confident and bold. In the dog world, the quote-unquote pack leader only shows affection to other pack members to fulfill its own social bond. Pack followers always show affection to the leader in a way to show submission, but this is only done on the leader's terms. If you show tension or fear, unsureness, you have become the pack follower in the dog's eyes, which, as you guys may have seen, that is not the case where I live with my dogs. My dogs know who's really in charge. My dogs knows who is the pack leader. There is no question in my dog's eyes who is the leader. It is important, according to this article, it is important for you and your family that the dog sees you as the pack leader. When the household lacks a strong leader, the dog will see you as weak, and therefore you are the pack follower. Okay, let's stop right there. This is often the case when I am working with clients, especially people with power breeds. You know, even the really small Chihuahuas or the Pomeranians, etc. They need a leader too. And if dogs, and I've said this many times, when dogs see you as weak, somebody has to step up. Somebody has to try to be the leader. And trust me, unless you have a sled dog, you know, an exceptional sled dog, the dogs that we have in our everyday lives are not designed for leadership. The lead sled dog, now that's a whole other story, a whole different mind that's working here. But most of us don't have sleds, and most of us don't have those types of dogs. Okay, so let me go on with this article. I am really enjoying this article here. Okay, this is where you will see unwanted, and I see this very often, unwanted behavior, because the dog is always looking for a leader, and therefore, if you are not strong enough, and he will take the role himself. That is just what I just finished saying, is it not? Let's see, where am I? Okay, then he will take the role for himself. If he lacks experience and socialization skills, then he will show unbalanced behaviors that we all know as aggression, anxiety, and obsession, overall wildness. All dogs look for leadership. Take that for a moment. This is why I heavily emphasize being a good leader for your dog. You know, they don't know what to do. If they don't get what they need, guess what? You call people like me who come in and quote-unquote train your dog. Actually, it's not so much about training the dog, it's about training the person who has that dog so they can learn how to work your dog, or to teach the dog how to look at you as their pack leader. I have found the majority of problems that people have with their dogs vanish once you learn how to be a good pack leader. Even if you don't do any formal training, just being a good pack leader can diminish so much bad behavior. Let me continue here. Okay, overall violence. Okay, all dogs look for leadership. There are 2 ranks, let this be known, 2 ranks in the dog, not wolf, the dog pack. Leader and follower. Well, you guys have seen my dogs follow me a lot and do what I'm asking them to do. That is what a leader does. But let me continue here. The dog's own genetic temperament places him in these ranks through rank challenge. I did do a video a while back on Odie challenging me to whether or not I should have that position of pack leader. I did a video on that a while back, but as it turned out, he decided that I am qualified to be pack leader. And I do this with each individual dog. Each dog has to make that decision on their own. And someday I may go ahead and make a video showing what I personally do to get each individual dog to do what I want them to do. Okay, and I've earned that. I worked very hard at earning my dog's respect. Because remember, these guys have big teeth, and they could easily turn and bite and have all kinds of issues. But as you may have seen in all my videos, my dogs do extremely well. They're comfortable with me. They show me a tremendous amount of affection. All is good. Is it always perfect? No. But then in any family, everything's not perfectly calm. Things do happen. But overall, for like 97% of the time, all is well in my pack. Let me continue with this article. I like this article. I'm rather impressed with the way it was written. Okay, okay. The dog's own genetic temperament places him in these ranks through quote-unquote rank challenge. The strong ones are always competed for the leadership role. If even one day goes by that current pack leader shows weakness, then the next strongest will challenge for that position. The weaker tempered dogs have no desire to be in the leadership role and can sometimes become very anxious with the responsibilities of being a pack leader. However, they do not want the role. This creates more anxiety and is very unhealthy for the dog. By being calm and assertive, you as an owner, or in my case I prefer the word caregiver or parent, pack parent, you as the owner become the responsible leader, creating a calm, submissive behavior that is the key to a happy, healthy life for your beloved canine. I want you all to take a moment and think about that. Okay, there's a lot of people that I have talked about. That's Cesar Millan. Sorry, my mouth isn't working so great today. For one, I have often talked about pack leadership on many occasions. Sometimes maybe the term that I use, hierarchy, may not be the right term, and I use that term because that's what I was thinking at the time when I made the video. As you can see here in my household, all my dogs, they're doing whatever they want. They're laid back, they're chilled out, whatever. They go outside, they go potty, they run free in parks and such. But I always have control over them, even when they're off leash. I have control over them. Is it perfect every single time? Well, no. Sometimes things go wrong, but as you can see in my videos, it's very seldom that anything ever goes wrong. That is because I have control over the dogs. My dogs respect me. They look to me as the one to go to. They look to me for protection. They look to me for making sure all of their needs are met. They look to me to lead them, have structure, give them the rules, and give them security. When dogs have clear rules that are fair, they have security. No means no and yes means yes. As I have said many times on ending my videos, if you're not teaching your dog to do the right things, you are, probably without knowing it, teaching them to do the wrong things. But let me add one other thing with that. You're teaching them how to be insecure. An insecure dog is not a confident dog, and you start running into problems with that. So let's go into the lower part of this video. Why does my dog do that? Well, this is a very good question, and I love the way that they have answered this question. This is what they have said here. Genetics and natural temperament of a dog. If the dog has a strong energetic temperament and never requires balanced social skills, he may show aggression or anxiety. I'm sure a lot of you have seen this, especially in rescue dogs or dogs who have not had any previous training, or dogs who have no leadership or very weak leadership. You're going to find all kinds of problems that show up. It's just the way it is. Dogs who have strong leadership, dogs who live in a home where there is clear boundaries, clear, yes and no. There's no confusion there. You find that most dogs are very well behaved overall, without even any formal training, without any obedience training as such. The dogs have a clear understanding of what they're supposed to do, what they're allowed to do, what they're not allowed to do, and that makes them secure. Okay, there is a right way to do this and a wrong way to do this. If your dogs are cowering and such when you're talking to them or when you approach them, there's something wrong with that. Very wrong. Your dog should not be cowering. But then there are some breeds who are naturally more submissive than others and are more easily intimidated. Let me continue though with this article. Okay, this can lead to aggression. Oh, I'm sorry. Most dogs have a high energy threshold and will get frustrated and start acting out with destructive behavior. This can lead to aggression. Dogs do not care who or what they take on their frustration out on. They just want to release it. When they achieve fulfillment from their pent-up frustration, they make a note of it and learn that this is how I make myself feel better. Note that. This is how I, as a dog, I make myself feel better. That could be chewing up shoes. That could be, barking or growling or running around the house acting crazy. That could be totally running away, for example. That could be fighting with another dog. That could be bullying you as the human. It could be a whole lot of different types of behaviors. That could be the result of your dog being frustrated. Okay, let me continue this. Some dogs will, here we go. Some dogs will bark excessively to show territorial aggression. Some will tear up your yard or your house. I basically just said that. I'm just reading this part of the article for the first time. Where am I? Lead to the extension. Okay, pinned up. Okay. Okay, aggression, and some will tear up your yard or house. This is their way of venting. Us as owners need to give them a different tool to release their energy. Do not get a dog if you cannot fulfill his needs. Very important, folks. This is also a big issue. You get yourself a big power breed, and you never walk them. You don't do what this dog needs. You don't give them the training. You do not give them a way of venting their frustration safely in an appropriate way. Usually exercise is the main way of doing that. Play is a big thing. Helping your dog's mind work. Train them, teach them all the time. And you'll find that there's a whole different kind of dog that you're working with. Mentally, their behavior will change. Okay, let's continue with this article. Let's see, tear up your house. Okay, do not get a dog if you cannot fulfill his needs. And this is also very important regarding the type of dog that you get. Proper walking on a daily basis is a basic need for a dog. Just because you have a large backyard for them to play in doesn't mean that they will be fulfilled physically or mentally. That's basically what I just said. Dogs are a traveling species, and that need to have fulfillment they have a need to fulfillment in that area. This basically means that dogs roam. If your dog gets as a chance to get out, they will roam. It is instinctual. They roam in packs for either scavenging for food or hunting for food. They move around. They in big packs. This is what they would do naturally. So this is basically what this article is saying here. They just did a better way of saying it. I just expanded on what the meaning was. Okay, just because you have a large backyard. Okay, dogs are a traveling species that need to have fulfillment in this area. Even if you yourself had plenty of entertainment at home, but were expected to stay home at all times for months on end, do you think that you would be very content with that? Maybe even feel like you were going crazy? Most people want to get out of the house at some point or another. Dogs have need the same fulfillment. Now, as some of you may already know, I take my dogs everywhere. They get to experience new smells. They get to experience, new visual things, especially the smells. Some people think I'm a little bit crazy because I will load 8 of my dogs up, put them in my car, and we will, even if it's just a short drive down to Hilo where the ocean is, they get to experience something new. And it's something, it helps them with their mental okayness. As you can see here, my guys are pretty chilled out. We go to the park, we go over to the beach. I don't let them out running on the beach, but they we go to the beach and they get to stick their heads out the door and get to smell the ocean breezes. They get to see new things. They get to experience stuff that's new, that's different. Breaking being home all the time. I need it, they need it. When they get pent up and they're having issues, then that means they're likely to run off, to experience something. It's called cabin fever, folks. There's another way of saying it. They just, get a little bit on the crazy side. But rather than destroying things here, sometimes they will want to run off. Okay, when that happens, that is a heavy duty reminder to me, like I need to get out there and give these dogs a new experience. Because like us, it doesn't matter all the video games and everything that you might have going, no matter how much entertainment you may have at home, or the types of, routine stuff that you do, there is some point there where you just need to get out for a little while and get away from the house. That is normal. You need to go explore. You need to see something different. You need to be in a different environment. And it's the same way with dogs. So there's a little something there for you guys. Like I said, this here website, I found this on this website. It's called Emerald Meadows Dog Training. And I have to say, I've already contacted the folks. I'm waiting for their return. I mean, I have to say, give these guys some kudos because they obviously know what they're doing. Apparently these guys are behaviorists, and they seem to have a very logical minds on the way they approach things and as such. And I like people who do things logically, who have some freaking common sense, and they take the real knowledge, and not this BS stuff that Zach George throws out there on people like him, but the real thing. I've also seen, a couple of their articles about the importance of making sure that you know your place on the pack. You are a leader, and the dog clearly understands what is expected out of it. You have laying down rules, structure as such. Same things I've talked about over and over and over and over again. So guys, this is not going to be really long. I appreciate you being here. Let me know what you think about this article. Please give me some feedback. Always important. It always helps me when I'm trying to make a video. I'm hoping very soon to do some work with Odie regarding some of his training. I'm also going to be doing some work regarding letting you see some of the stuff that I'm going to be doing with Pup. He is at the age now where it is time for him to get down to some serious training. So go ahead, let's join me on my journey, and maybe it might help you with some of your dogs. It may not. Remember, my dogs, all dogs are unique individuals, so what may work for what's going on with my dogs may not work with yours. Also, it looks like I may have picked up 3 new clients. They have rescue dogs, and they're having kind of a tough time with them. So I will let you guys know they agreed to talk with me online here. And so it'll be more like a little podcast, some chatting to let you guys know what kind of stuff that I personally work with. And maybe I'm hoping to be able to help these folks with their dogs. Thanks so much for watching, guys. And as always, if you are not teaching / training your dogs to do the right things, you may find yourself reinforcing behaviors that you're not even realizing that you're reinforcing, behaviors that you don't want. So therefore you are teaching / training them to do the very things that you don't want them to do. Thanks so much, guys, for watching. We'll see you next time here on Master Matriarchs Canines.